day one, week one of me doing HFT training with Coach Chong. My calves were absolutely on fire for most of these exercises. However, my arch is slowly starting to activate more and more since yesterday when I did my first session with Coach Chong. The left side is definitely lacking more than the right side. However, I am starting to feel some connections building up into the glutes already, just little flickers and hints. The most exciting thing is during the HFT meditation, I actually feel my neck. This was a very intense session. This is quite tiring, and I'm really looking forward to see how I keep getting on. I find after I do these sessions that my eyes feel like they have less pressure behind them. I find it easier to see, just slight little changes already, but that's super exciting. That was intense. I've just finished the fascial meditation and the towel curls. My neck is switched on, I suppose. It feels like there's a lot of activation in there. Today was interesting. When I was doing the HFT walking, I could actually feel my neck. Not only could I feel my neck, my head actually pulled my neck back into a lordotic curve, and I got tension and pressure released behind my eyes. That was the most intense I felt my neck out of any of the exercises. That was borderline painful, not in like a ouch way, it's just uncomfortable. Stimulating is probably the best word, and uncomfortable, it's all very uncomfortable, but really we're breaking down bad patterns, we're breaking down bad connections, and we're rebuilding the way things were supposed to have been pre-injury. The towel curls today, wow, I felt these in my neck, which is really remarkable. I felt a bit more in my glutes today, which is great. Calves do still take over at the end there. My days are still pretty long. It's kind of like Groundhog Day at the moment. However, talking to people like Coach Chong once a week, that's very exciting. And there's always things to look forward to. There's always progression to look forward to. So I'm very keen to become a better athlete than I ever could have been if I had not gotten this information. I can only get this information through my experiences. So I'm very blessed in a weird way to have gone through all this stuff. This has given me the opportunity to become the athlete I need to be, and clearly I need to learn these lessons to implement them to actually be able to reach my full potential. Anyway, it's enough deep thought for tonight. Every day I'm saying like things are progressing more and more, and I'm not lying. Like the response from my body has been remarkable. And I really feel like I'm starting to decode my compensatory patterns. Instinctively, I know that I'm breaking down what I was using maladaptively to survive, but not thrive. Yesterday, I had my third session with Coach Chong to kick off the third week. We've tried some new things, and some new things will be implemented into the program. He's very happy with how I'm progressing. So he's really committed to exactly my needs, and he's very invested in my process. It's quite early here, so I have to talk pretty quietly. I think my visual aperture is starting to open up a bit. I think I'm seeing more detail, which is very, very positive. I think some of the light sensitivity is coming down, and some of the light static is coming down as well, the visual snow. We're now in week 4. We discussed a lot of things, and one of the main things we discussed about was the fact that I'm getting very fatigued. It is very tiring. I'm waking up tired every day. I'm falling into a very deep sleep, and just throughout the day I'm feeling very, very fatigued as a consequence of the fact that my whole body's trying to remodel. So we decided that this week would be a deload week. As Coach Chong said, it's kind of like a rule of thirds. Like a third of the time you're going to be feeling really good, a third of the time average, and a third of the time. And sometimes it's not days, sometimes it's what I'm doing throughout the day. One of the things I just want to update on was the fact that I've noticed that when I'm waking up in the morning, I'm not waking up with additional symptoms. Usually it felt like I have to like defrost my brain, but I'm waking up and yeah, I'm tired, but I'm not feeling like my brain and neck and brain stem pain. It's not pain, it's like discomfort. I'm waking up and I'm feeling like I'm ready to go. And I think that's because the work that I've been doing with the fascia is making the fascia so much more healthy. Today, it was a full day of everything, including the training. And again, I feel very tired. I'm actually feeling better now than I was for the rest of the day. Again, as I said this morning, I just felt terrible. But actually doing the fascia work has made me feel better. But my body feels amazing. It's just quite achy. Day 34, today was a full training load, and my training was pretty good. The work was pretty good. I felt a little bit more tired. However, I did notice that in my wall bounce, it was a lot less painful, and I didn't feel the exercise in my forearms or in my shoulders nearly as much. It was mainly in my lats. Start of week 6, call with Coach Chong yesterday. The call went well. The training session went really well. My left glute was so sore afterwards. My glutes and hamstrings very, 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 very sore. He's focusing more on my upper body now, specifically my trap region, because they are incredibly tight, lots of adhesions, lots of knots. Of course, I'm feeling my glutes a lot on all exercises. Have I had any visual improvements? I think I might be starting to see some now. Tomorrow's Christmas. I actually have a full training day tomorrow, so I'm going to be getting up nice and early at my normal time, and I will be up at 5:30 and trying to knock out my full training load before everyone else gets up. Today is day 40. Today's Boxing Day. Yesterday was Christmas Day. I had a full training load yesterday and I got it done nice and early before we did all our Christmas stuff. Moving around, I feel so sharp. Harris and I were throwing a tennis ball, playing like a reaction catching game, just really close, just flicking to each other. My reaction is just insane. Trying to keep nice and consistent with as much as possible. I am getting everything done each day that I have to. Today's day 42. Is there anything to report back? Yeah, feeling the exercises in the right parts of the body rather than sort of feeling it in the adhesions, which is great because that is a terrible feeling. Day 46. Today's the first day of 2024. We've kicked it off with a bang with a full Hyperarch Fascia Training session. I'm out of breath because I've literally just finished. But I'm excited because today was very, very good, despite having a bit of an uninterrupted sleep because New Year's celebrations and that. But when I was ready to go, I just knocked this session out in about 2 hours and 40 minutes. There's still a couple of little things I have to do. However, this is the majority of the session. Very exciting because all my exercises have progressed. I felt like they all felt better. When I did my last set of single leg hops, I did 2 sets. At the very end, no calves, even in my left side, and I did 70 seconds on both sides. That was after doing a whole session with lots and lots of hopping. Yesterday was a full day of training for day 48, and it was definitely hands down the best session. I feel like this week has really been a milestone week for me. My Hyperarch Mechanism is engaging, and even yesterday, I was walking along and trod on a tree root and probably should have rolled my ankle. My foot locked, and I didn't, so that's awesome. While I'm doing my meditation, I'm tremoring a lot less. My feet are not as sore when I'm doing my exercises. And that's a big thing because really my feet were kind of copping it and now they're just feeling solid. Today is day 58. I thought I'd come on here and update and say that we've successfully completed week 8. I'm going up and up and up with the duration of exercises, with the quality and with the body response as well. And now we've got the last month to go. So we're 2/3 the way through the program and far out. We've had so much improvements already. Really noticeably the neurological component of waking up, not having brain fog, being able to get on with the day. My cognitive ability is a lot sharper and also just moving around. I don't feel like I'm in discomfort. I don't feel like I'm feeling nauseous when I'm moving my head around, and especially when doing things like throwing and catching a ball, I feel like I can do more with my body. I was just reminiscing on my first week of HFT training and I looked back and I had like 5-6 exercises on a big day, and now I've got like 18-19 exercises. It's not just the workload that's gone up. The way my body responds to the work has been extraordinary. I was burning lots during the exercises in all the wrong areas, in all the wrong muscle groups, and now the exercises, these longer days are actually more enjoyable, even though they are quite long. This took about 3 hours to complete today. Because when I'm doing the exercises, I'm feeling more fascially driven. The burning sensation is only happening in the glutes. The feet aren't in discomfort. They're feeling nice and strong and solid and a good support for the rest of my body. It makes it so much easier to do the exercise and focus, and you feel like you're getting a much better return on your investment as well. And also, I feel like as the session goes on, I gain more energy. It's been pretty cool to see improvements in things that I thought I was just going to have to live with forever, namely tight calves. But now my calves aren't doing the work. The work is connecting from the feet up to the glutes, and the whole body is connecting, integrating as one, and I'm becoming more fascially driven. Today is day 68 and we are a couple of days into week 10. It's just really my sleep that I need to keep on top of. We're averaging about 7 hours per night. However, I really need to get that up to 8 hours a night because there is so much going on in my body. So many changes are being made. I am getting some brilliant response in my glutes on all exercises. Meditation, it's just all glutes now. When I was shooting baskets the other day at the school, just barefoot on the blacktop, on the bitumen, I could feel my glutes, and I was making sure that I was Hyperarch hopping into my shot, and I was way more accurate than I normally was. I could feel the connection from my feet to my glutes happening. kind of like a power up nearly, and then I was able to sink the shot. It is the last day of week 11. My adhesion level is going down massively and my vision is starting to improve. I'm having slightly less light sensitivity, less visual snow, and that's making everything just in a little bit more detail. I'm able to handle higher levels of stress in my visual field instead of being in panoramic vision, still kind of in a narrow focus, but it has widened a bit as the stress from all the other symptoms have gone away. I'm starting to feel a little bit of core in some exercises, which is great. I can be in any position and I don't get brain fog, I don't feel dizzy, I don't get discomfort, which is so good. I haven't really talked about my ankle much. My ankle has been an issue over the last 4 years or so now, getting better, which is awesome to see, and that's very noticeable, especially in single leg work, single leg hops especially, where before it was all calf, my ankle would be flopping around everywhere. There was no tensegrity, but now it is a lot stronger. It has been improving, which is great because there was nothing else that was helping it. No injections, no physio or rehab or massage, nothing was helping, but finally something is actually working, which is so good. Hello everyone, today is day 84. I just recently had my 12th and final session, one-on-one with Coach Chong, which went very well, and we got to discuss how much improvement I've had over these 12 weeks. It's been an amazing 12 weeks. I've experienced a massive amount of relief from a lot of the symptoms I've had. I actually only have one more full day of training left in this 12-week program, which is tomorrow. One of the things that I suffered with that we are fixing is ligamentous cervical instability, which basically means instability at the neck level, which means that the vertebrae move around, they press on blood vessels, they press on nerves, and this can cause a lot of confusion in the brain because the brain gets built up with toxins, and also lots of other things can go on which can cause stress, which can cause a lot of different neurological symptoms, which I suffered from. A lot of these have actually been thankfully fixed through the Hyperarch Fascia Training 12-week program, working one-on-one very closely with Coach Chong. There are a couple of things that I will still be working on that are improving, but will take a little bit of time to completely resolve. However, I've seen a lot of relief in a lot of my symptoms, which has been awesome. Adhesions can be very pesky because they can block signals traveling through and also can create high levels of stress, meaning cortisol, which can lead to even more symptoms. So getting the adhesion level down is very key. And for myself, at the start of the training program, I had 8s and 9s throughout my entire body. Most of my body, especially from my waist down, is about 2s, which is so good and such a relief. That my upper body is a little bit higher. However, we expect that this will take longer to resolve simply because I have had my issue for about 18 months now. It's been quite a while, and the longer this goes on for, the worse the symptoms actually get, and then the symptoms in the brain that manifest as neurological symptoms and from the eyes actually get worse. My memory was deteriorating before I started Hyperarch Fascia Training. However, that sort of stuff has been resolved. What I'll do is I'll put a list up here of all of the symptoms that I suffered from. Everything from neurological conditions to how I was seeing to even pain and discomfort, adhesions. I'll put a list up here. There are so many of them. And then now I'm going to put up a list of the things that Hyperarch Fascia Training has actually helped with, which has been a massive list of things, which has been so good, considering I'm the first person on planet Earth with this issue to go through this sort of training to figure out and resolve the problem that I have, which is absolutely amazing. And that's a wrap. That's my 12-week Hyperarch Fascia Training one-on-one experience done. I won't say too much in this video because I did cover most of the things in yesterday's video. However, I just want to say it's been a real honor and a privilege to work with Coach Chong, work so closely with him and resolve a lot of the issues that I've had. I'm still improving, which is awesome to see, and I'll be able to keep continuing on with the exercises that I've been given. I just want to say this training isn't easy. It's not probably what you think it is. Just because that doesn't include any weights doesn't mean it's not difficult. In fact, I would say this is more difficult than most strength and conditioning, if not all strength and conditioning programs I've done in the past. Not just because the exercises themselves are difficult, but because the level of focus that you have to have on exactly what you're doing is it's just second to none. This is basically like a meditation practice while you're also doing your exercises, because the focus has to be so strong to create neurological connections as well as physical connections. Those two things go hand in hand. It is very difficult and it takes a lot of dedication, hard work, and also discipline. But it was absolutely worth it. I had massive improvements in all of my symptoms, and also, as I said, I'm still improving, which is awesome to see.